Hey folks, today I'd like to highlight this absolutely stunning Pioneer PL-630 fully automatic direct drive turntable. This was offered by Pioneer from 1978 to 1979, and hard to find better years for vintage turntable. Uh, your Japanese manufacturers in particular were at the top of their game. You know, turntables and vinyl was where it's at, and nobody had any idea it was all going to change in a few short years with the arrival of the CD in the mid 80s. So, as we mentioned, is direct drive. This one is 120 volt for the North American market. What's a little special about this model is a couple convenience features. So it has pitch control, very nice meter that lights up when that's engaged. Probably not going to be able to see that with the lighting in the video, but we'll demo that a little later. As well as it can operate from fully automatic all the way to fully manual mode. When it's in fully manual mode, your cueing still works, so you lift your tone arm up and down automatically, but you need to position it on the record yourself as well as pick it up at the end. So it's fairly unique for a fully automatic turntable to go into fully manual mode, meaning you even have to pick it up at the end. Now, obviously in automatic mode it does all that for you. So let's go ahead and turn it on and look at some of the functions. So the on-off switch, the switch is on. I mentioned this because the on-off switch has the best feel of any turntable I've ever experienced. I mean, it's just incredible smooth feel to that switch. The platter and tone arm are suspended to a sub chassis. So there's the main plinth is rigid to the table with the feet, and then there's a large metal sub chassis suspended 4 springs, and that supports the platter as well as the tone arm. I don't know if you can see those bouncing a little bit, but that provides excellent isolation from external vibration and noise. Continuing with the review of the controls, here we have auto mode, or you can switch that off and go to the fully manual mode that I mentioned. In auto mode, you have selection for a 12, 10, 7-inch record, as well as the ability to repeat the same side over and over. Start stop, arm elevation, speed control, and then pitch control, or rather, sorry, quartz lock and then pitch control. So if you take the quartz lock off, the pitch control meter lights up, and then you can vary the pitch. I'll demonstrate that a little later. We'll go back to quartz lock. So right now we have it set for a 12-inch record in automatic mode at 33 speed. Let's go ahead and cue up a record and listen to the turntable, watching the functions. Super smooth. So for automatic turntable, it's just the movement is incredible. Very soft. Cue down to the record. Now, not really set up to demonstrate the audio quality. It is phenomenal. The very nice tone arm on this table, also very well regarded by audiophiles. The cartridge I've mounted, it's a entry-level cart, AT3600L. It's nice, but you can certainly put on much nicer card on this table. I anticipate most people would. It's hard to put too nice a cartridge on this, and with a tone arm that's kind of in your medium mass range with that S shape, really have a wide variety of cartridges that are going to work well for you. Let's go ahead and I won't show 45, just hearing it go real fast is a little silly, but let's engage your pitch control now. I did calibrate this, so the meter is sent when it's centered is at the correct pitch, and then you have the ability to vary plus 6% up to plus 6% or minus 6% according to the meter. And I did also calibrate the meter for the plus and minus positions. Let's try to get that close to the center, and we'll engage quartz lock again. So So being a fully automatic turntable, of course, it will pick up at the end. The drop-in point as well as the pickup point have all been adjusted correctly. Just go very close to the end of the record there. And we'll watch it queue up. Very smooth response from this turntable. It's just a joy to see it working. So, nice feature of this turntable is it does have VTA, which is your vertical tracking angle, and that's basically the ability to vary the height of your tone arm here at the pivot point, which allows you, depending on your use of different cartridges, to dial the height of the tone arm so that the tone arm is level for different cartridges. And most fully automatic tables, and many of them don't even have the ability to adjust VTA. Not only does this have this, but it's very convenient to use. So typically there'll be like little screws you got to get at with an Allen wrench. This has a thumb screw right here. It also has a screwdriver. It does get a little bit tight. You can put a screwdriver into it. But this thumb screw, and there's some graduations on this part right here. So really nice, convenient way to set your vertical tracking angle. Obviously your stylus force is varied with your weight here. So, and as you can see from the video or pictures you see online, it's incredible looking tone arm, especially with this circular piece right here. Let's go ahead, let's take the auto return off. And this is how you'd operate the table in manual mode. So you queue up. Now, let me demonstrate that again. As you move the tone arm, the platter starts up. It's a very strong direct drive motor. So it comes up to speed, I believe, within a half revolution. Also has electronic braking. So when you move it off, it turns it off, so you don't have to wait for it or stop it with your hands. So, you know, once you queue up to your position, you'll lower the tone arm. And then when you get to the end, I'll just go right to the end here, because it's in manual mode, you would need to pick it up at the end, so it would just ride in that groove. One thing I will go ahead and demonstrate here is the repeat. So let's put auto mode back on, 12-inch, and let's engage repeat. And again, let's go ahead and cue the record up. What we'll show now is the repeat function, one kind of a demonstration of kind of the quality of the design and the engineering in this table, is that when it repeats, most tables when they repeat go back to the beginning of a cycle and then replay. This one just goes right back to the beginning of the record. So let's demonstrate that. So go to the end of the record again. Pretty close, so you don't have to wait for it. And we have the repeat engaged. So very nice. And it's probably a good time to talk now about some of the work that I did on my restoration of this table. In order for the repeat to work so nicely and for your cue in as well as your repeat to hit the precise correct point of the record, some critical things need to be done. So first we'll just kind of hit the highlights here, but all the controls have been disassembled. This entire panel has been disassembled, all the controls taken out, all these parts cleaned. So because this panel sits out in the open over the years, you know, dust gets in all these little spots and can begin to hamper performance. All that's clean, so response of the buttons is perfect, and the the feel of using them is just wonderful too. Motor spindle removed, cleaned, lubricated. The all of the entire mechanism was removed, disassembled, cleaned for all the mechanical parts of this turntable. And the tone arm does use its own motor, so it's separate from your direct drive motor. So all that's been done. So there's a couple highlights. There's a plate in there. Essentially, the size indicates uses photosensors to indicate the lead-in, your 10-inch or 7-inch, your pickup points, and that plate has an adjustment in order to adjust those points. And so that plate has been was disassembled and cleaned and then lubricated, so that if you do need to adjust the lead-in, you can do it without frustration. Again, so the mechanism, by doing all that mechanism, again, your repeat, which you saw, you're going to get excellent response there. So just kind of hitting the high points there. The power supply has been recapped with all new electrolytics, Nichicon FG. The springs have been adjusted for the correct level, as well as kind of the correct level of damping and bounce you have in the table. So there's originally like rubber boots over these springs, which at this point in these turntables' life, all of those have deteriorated. So what I do is use some foam in order to restore some of the the correct damping to those springs, so you have a nice stable yet isolated platform. Talked about the lead-in being adjusted. All checks and adjustments in Section 8 of the service manual were completed. So that included, I think we hit this before, but calibration of the pitch control for center, as well as plus minus, as well as all the other calibrations, which include a couple calibrations for the motor. All the lights work. Everything's nice and bright. Not sure how well that shows up in the video, but in real life, it's all very bright. And we talked about the new cartridge being mounted. So I'm going to demo one more thing. This is one thing I enjoy about your top of the line direct drive turntables from this era, because it has a nice strong motor. We'll go ahead and let the music start. But the nice strong motor, you can clean your record. And I'm applying just moderate pressure, not hard, but not light. And you really get no change in pitch, which is very nice. If you try that with a belt drive turntable, if you're not careful, you can actually bring it to a stop. Okay. So with that, let's wrap it up. I've really enjoyed working on this table, and have had it in my system the last few weeks. I've really enjoyed it, and so great table, and hope you have a great day, and thanks very much for watching.